Shalom. We're going to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory
To
to
Yahweh,
Yahweh, Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Yahushai,
Yahushai,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the true, holy, and powerful name of the Heavenly Father. Bahashem, meaning in the name. Yahushai is the true, holy, and powerful name of His only begotten Son, who is the Savior of the nation of Israel, starting off with the elect. Within the nation of Israel, and Israel consists of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, as well as you Israelite foreigners scattered abroad that may look like the nations where you've been scattered to, but are Israelites. And we also want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing out this word in all sincerity and in truth. All right, what are brothers from the Great Millstone branch out in Des Moines, Iowa, coming back at you with another lesson inspired by the Holy Spirit, Habakkuk. And not quite sure, what I entitled this lesson. Maybe a warning, um, uh, uh, a warning against nostalgia. Maybe something along those lines, or it might just be a quote from this Galatians 6:14. All right, that we're gonna grab where it says, my interest in this world has been crucified. All right. And, the inspiration of this lesson came, it started, the big bro Yeshaya had posted this precept in our group chat, and it's been in my mind. And I actually wanted to do a lesson on it yesterday through the spirit, but I got up and then this happened, that happened, and so on and so forth. And then we spoke about it on the line. This topic came up on the line. Um, but with that being said, also, just showing you it's all the spirit, that aligns everything, man, orchestrates everything. I was listening to the elders out in Dallas. The Mississippi Bros was out there. They had a beautiful man outside speaking, touched up on a lot of different things, but something that the elder Yasharwamba he had mentioned was nothing else to do or turn back to, all right, in regards to this world, and there's a pulling that Egypt tries to take hold on us, man. It reminds me in the book of Genesis where Joseph, all right, he had that Egyptian woman that was pulling on him on a daily basis, all right, constantly pulling on him, pulling on him, pulling on him, and just applying that in the spirit, man, all right, to how Egypt tries to pull on you, all right, with the desires and the pleasures, all right, to get you to commit spiritual adultery with her, man. All right, leave off from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and to go into this world. And once again, there's nothing here anyways, man. All right, there's nothing else to do or turn back to. And as it says in the book of Micah, we can start off with this real quick. In the book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 10, um, Micah 2 and 10, it says, and Lord's will, we hit this commentary on Hebrews 11 and 15 as well, further down the line. So we'll build up to it through the Spirit. Micah 2 and 10, it says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with the sword destruction. Right. So this place isn't our rest, all right. There remaineth a rest for the true believers in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and we have to make sure that our affection is set on those things, man. All right, the scripture says, keep thy heart with all diligence. All right. So Egypt is going to try and pull on you, just as that Egyptian woman, all right, was trying to pull on Joseph, man. All right, he was denying her on a daily basis. Okay, denying her on a daily basis, man. And that's the same thing with us, because the Egypt is going to try and pull on your flesh. All right, is going to try and make you feel like you're missing out on something. That is if you were back in the world, you could be doing this and that and the third and so on and so forth, and those things should be crucified. All right. Now, when you first come in, you first wake up. May be certain things that may still be pulling on you. All right, but that's why the scripture says, Paul said, "I die daily." All right. We have to crucify these different things, man. Make sure that our affection is really on the kingdom of heaven. Make sure that our mind is really set on what's to come and not on the things here on earth, man. But you got something?
Yeah, just off of that Micah that you just read. This is a second Ezra chapter 8 and verse 52.
Yeah.
It says, "For unto you I'll start 52, it says, "For unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenteous is made ready, a city is built, and rest is allowed, yea, perfect goodness and wisdom." So this is the rest that we're seeking after. We're not seeking for nothing that's in this current world right now, because we all know that it's soon going to perish, according to what is that, Second Peter 2. All these things, knowing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are you to be in holy conversation and godliness? our conduct, the way we operate, the way we move. Just like brother was going into, you're gonna have the things of this world, gonna try to pull on us. You know, here it is. We're in these bodies of bodies that's subject unto sin, or we're in a world that's full of sin. All and we have basically all odds are against us. But we have to keep fighting, all right, and to reach for this rest, man, the rest to come. Okay, because that Micah 2:10, it says this is not a rest, it is polluted. All right, so if we know that this place is polluted, we shouldn't want to have the desire of the things of this world, man.
Right.
We should have our desires of the things that's in heaven, man.
Yep, yep, yep. And really, and once again, man, as we're seeing this place is collapsing, like everybody's crashing out, we're pretty much at a point to where it's like you really got to see, like it shows you that it's really a demon, okay,
Yeah,
that's trying to
yeah,
pull at you, man. All right, because if you still have are fighting these desires towards these different things of this world and so on and so forth, which we have our walks and our battles and everything like that, but literally at this point of where we're at in prophecy, there's literally nothing to even go back to, You know what I'm saying? It was never anything to go back to, all right?
right.
But especially now,
Yeah,
all right?
how much more now?
How
Yeah,
much more now, man? It's like the economy's through, all right? You know what I'm saying? The people who dreams of what you gonna go back into the world and get to the NBA. All right, you think we got time like that? Nigga, you gonna train for 3 years and or you gonna drop that new mixtape that's gonna be and then you're seeing that the entertainers in this society, man, the things that they're subject to, right? The wickedness that they have to perform and everything like that, man. The Lord is literally showing that, look, there's nothing here. This place is over with, man. So it's truly a demon if you think that you're going to go back in the world and do something better. All right. You know, whatever the case it may be, man. All right. So, I had this other precept, uh, First Corinthians. All right. Yeah. First Corinthians 7. And then we're going to hit these other precepts as well. First Corinthians 7 and verse, 31. Oh, that's the spirit. All right.
nah, it was something else I just thought about.
Oh, you just got it? Okay, come on. This is the book of First Corinthians 7 and 31. It says, and they that use the world, uh, man, that's the spirit. All right. So First Corinthians 7 and verse 29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short.
Oh,
All right.
that's the spirit. That's the spirit. Cause I was holding this. I was looking for it. I couldn't think of how it was worded, but I was holding this Job 20. I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish, but I
Uh-huh.
was holding this Job 20, bro. It's gonna tie in.
Oh, that's the spirit. That's the spirit. If you want to trade this out, move this over just
Oh,
to come a little bit closer.
con,
I just want to make sure to pick up your voice.
con,
All right,
con.
but this is First Corinthians 7 and 29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. Right. So the time is short, man. All right. We at the end. Prophecy coming to pass. All right. It says, now this was referring to 70 AD, the precept I'm about to quote, man. It said, when you see Jerusalem compassed about with armies, you see the desolation draweth nigh. So we see the troops are coming in. All right. They grabbing Jacob, not just Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom is being grabbed up now as well. Right. So we can tell clearly that the time is short. There's nothing left no time, to do anything. Okay, you know, it's nothing. It's nothing here. All right, it's nothing here to go back to. Like the elder had mentioned, man. The elder, elders out in Dallas was mentioning, man. There ain't nothing to go back to. All right, so why not be fully invested into something that's actually going to grant you a reward in an everlasting kingdom, man? All right, this place is through. It's over with, man. It says, but this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none, showing you that pilgrim mentality, which we're going to tap into, Lord's will,
Yeah,
in Hebrews the 11th chapter, man. It says, they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not. And you see the same narrative in Hebrews the 11th chapter, the pilgrim mentality. Second Ezra, what's that, the 16th chapter? All right. It goes into those that buy as if they're not going to receive a profit from it, and so on and so forth. So you see this narrative of what being a pilgrim, we're just passing through to get to our real rest.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
It says, and they that buy as though they possess not, and they that use the world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away.
That's it.
Right. So all this stuff is passing away. And we're seeing it pass away right before our eyes, man. I'm gonna read this back again in the NLT. It says, what verse did I start at? Let me see. All right, verse 29. All right, in the NLT it says, "But let me say this, dear brothers and sisters, the time that remain is very short. So from now on, those with wives should not focus only on their marriage, right? You can't be all caught up in your woman, all right? You know, even when it comes down to her and her emotions and trying to make her feel this and that and the third, like, look, we over that, man. We got a mission that we on. Like, either she gonna get with the program or not. All right, we got everlasting joy right ahead, man. Okay, we need to make sure that we're doing what's pleasing in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. Staying locked in and focus on that, man. All right. It says, those who weep or who rejoice or who buy things should not be absorbed by their weeping or their joy or their possessions, right? Caught up in these carnal things, these carnal possessions, and so on and so forth. These things shouldn't, you know, weigh down on our mind, man. All right. You know, the scriptures talk about in the book of Second Ezra, the 14th chapter. All right, it says, this is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 14, and I'll start at verse 13. Second Ezra 14 and 13, it says, "Now therefore set thine house in order and reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Let go from the mortal thoughts," right? Thinking about the things of this world. All right, thinking about this existence. Like, look, man, we got an eternity ahead.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thinking of things that really don't matter.
It don't matter.
Yeah, thinking of things that really don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like we were speaking about it yesterday. Like, bro, just if there's anything that you're dealing with, you're just supposed to cast your burdens upon you. How about Shema Shah, man? All right, let go from the mortal thoughts. As it's gonna say, cast away the burdens of man, put off the weak nature, man. But you got it though.
Yep, it says, let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature, and all that shit is weak nature, man.
Hmm.
Being all caught up and worried about this and that and the third, and here in this world, man. Look, the scriptures talk about in the book of Sirach, or Wisdom of Solomon. It says, "They that get wisdom become quickly without care."
Hmm.
All right. So this wisdom should really detach us or have us to not care about the things of this world and this life.
Yeah.
And this is how our forefathers and certain of our foremothers moved. All right, not getting caught up with the affairs of this life and the cares of this world. It says, they that warreth
That's the spirit
are
also, man.
entangleth not. You got that? Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Second Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. So the Lord has chosen us to be soldiers. All right, and as a soldier, what do soldiers do? They fight. What are we fighting? We're fighting a good fight of faith. All right, and not being too entangled with the things of this world, because all those things will bring you down. Okay, well, we're dwelling in the heavens,
Yeah,
or we don't want to be brought down into the ways of this world, and because all what is the thing it speaks about it in I believe it's in the First John. It speaks about the things of this world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, pride of life, so on and so forth. It,
I
it
got
speaks
you.
about those things, man.
Yep, First John 3.
Hmm.
I got you, player. This is First John chapter 3 and 15. First John 3 and 15. Okay, Salakia. It might be First John 2 and 15. This is the book of First John chapter 2 and verse 15. Yep. And the heading says, "Do not love the world."
Bro.
All right. Do not love the world. Now we're gonna, we still building up to a few different points,
Yeah.
but it's all the spirit. Because I was gonna make mention of Lot's wife. All
Mm.
right. See, Yahweh Shah said it himself. Remember Lot's wife. All right. They were exiting out of Sodom and Gomorrah, but on the way of exiting, what happened?
Yeah.
Lot's wife looked back. Now you go into that phrase "look back." It means it's the Hebrew word nabat, which means to regard with care and favor. All right. Now when you look at Lot from a carnal standpoint, all right, he had what possessions, he had riches, they had so much riches, servants, and bread and everything like that. Abraham and Lot had to separate because their servants and their land they couldn't all dwell together in the same area
Yeah.
because of how much substance they both had. So they was like, all right, well, we finna. I'll go this way, you go that way, so on and so forth. So they had a lot of substance. They
Mhm.
had a lot of carnal possessions, right?
Yeah.
You know. So then on exiting out of Sodom and Gomorrah, what? His wife looked back. All right. So we have to make sure that as we're exiting out, as we're departing spiritually, that you don't get caught up looking back. All right. Because
Mm-hmm.
even in the example, you see that in the scriptures, man. You had, I was going to bring this up later, but it's the spirit. But this is the book of Second Timothy chapter 4 and verse 10. For Demas hath forsaken me, having loved this present world. All right. So we got to make sure that what, man? We still don't have a love of this present world. All right.
Yeah.
That these things are being crucified in us. And once again, we're at the end. But we know that even right now, we still got believers that are waking up. All right, hearing this word, they're seeing these prophecies. They're like, oh, snap, what do I need to do? What's going on? And you're going to be pulled by Egypt. You're going to get pulled by the people of this world, right? That's why what? You have to detach. Okay. That's why you have to make sure that what? You're separating yourself. All right. It says evil communication corrupt good manners. Roughly paraphrasing that, man. All right. So who you're associating with, all right, can have a pull on your spirit back to what this world, even though you know you're is passing away. All right, even though you know that this place is going to melt with fervent heat. But you have to have faith and belief and fear in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to be like, man, nah, fuck all that. I ain't finna get caught up and destroyed over you what trying to stay here or do this or do that or chase this aspiration or trying to chase this type of lifestyle or whatever the case it may be for men and women. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you got women that are still trying to hold on. Well, we speaking about Lot's wife. All right, trying to still hold on to this mentality of how a relationship is supposed to be and
Yeah.
all this romance and this and that and the third. And my man, is just gonna be me and him, and you got this fairy tale in your head. All right, it's like nah, that shit got to get crucified. Okay, you know, and you got to really have your mind set on what's to come in the kingdom and escaping this wrath because it's right at the door. All right, and the Lord is only going to deliver those that are what they're Egypt is being purged out of them. The way of this world, the way of this life is being purged out of them. Okay. See, when you go into our history, you had Jake wandering in the wilderness, man, and in that wandering of the wilderness, okay, the Lord had to what? Wait till all those unbelieving niggas that wanted to go back to Egypt, that was doubting the Lord, and so on and so forth, man, that still had Egypt in them, they had to die. All right. So they wandered in the wilderness until that whole generation died. Right. So in this time, all right, the Lord is gonna, he ain't just gonna deliver all Jake out of Egypt. Now he's gonna deliver those that are purging Egypt out of them.
Mm-hmm.
As the elders, even the elders out in Dallas mentioned that Elder Ariala, he'll mention that from time to time, man. So those that are purging Egypt and the desires of this place and this world, all right, out of them, those are the ones who the Lord is gonna carry into the promised land, right? So we have to make sure that we keep our heart with all diligence, guard your mind from the affections and the cares of this life that's over with anyways, man.
Yeah.
All right, so it says 2 Timothy 4 and 10, for Demas hath forsaken me, having loved this present world, and is departed unto Thessalonica, Crescens to Galatia, Titus unto Dalmatia, right? And let me look up this word Thessalonica, because for some reason I think it had a really heavy meaning. But victory over falsity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's heavy. Victory over falsity, man. All right. And this is what we're going to receive, man. All right. We're going to get the victory over all this wickedness, all right, over all these lies and everything like that, man. And what America has given you is a false narrative of what happiness is, what
Yeah.
joy is. They show you the entertainers and then they say, like, look, this is the life to live. This is great and everything like that. These niggas be through, they be crashing out. All right, they be depressed,
Yeah.
you know. You know what I'm saying? They be given over to all types of wickedness. They still not happy. They still not fulfilled. We mentioned it on the line, man. Even Drake, he had that song, man. Is there more?
Yeah.
He was like, man, he at the peak, right? He's supposed to be at the peak. He was like, man, is it more than this, man? It's women with fake booties and this and that and the third. Next one is he like, this is what happiness is. This is what joy is. You know, this is what's draining. I mean, this is what is happiness, man. But it's draining, man.
Yeah.
They show you on TV that these alphabet people they be all happy and smiling and everything like that. Bro, they got the highest domestic abuse, okay?
Suicide.
The highest suicide rates.
Yeah.
But Esau through his media,
Yeah.
all right, he spins the narrative and tells you that this is happiness.
Yeah.
He tells woman that you sleeping from man to man to man. That's what's making you happy.
Yeah.
Go play the field. You know, you don't settling down with one man. What? Of course not. Nah, go destroy yourself. That's what's happiness, right? So that's what he's portrayed as joy, is falsity. Okay, but now people are realizing, like, nah, that all that stuff, the way that Esau is forwarded Egypt, the ways of Egypt, ain't where it's at. Okay, you know. But I just wanted to look up that word. So that was it in that Timothy.
That's First John.
Yep, we got First John 2 and 15 at the water. So the heading of it says, "Do not love the world." Verse 15, it says, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him." Right. So if you still got a love and an attachment, all right, to the things of this world, the things of this life, all right, you'll end up like Lot's wife,
Yeah.
who got caught looking back with a desire towards the possessions, a desire towards the things of this world, all right, a desire towards Sodom and Gomorrah, all right, and she was what? An example of unbelief, all right, a monument of an unbelieving soul, all right. You got to believe in the reward that there's greater than anything this world has to offer. The crumbs from the rich man's table, like, look, fuck the crumbs. All right, we want it all, man. We desire a better country, a better kingdom, like it says in that Hebrews the 11th chapter, man. It says,
Oh,
it's now you
like,
got something?
yeah. Just real quick,
Go ahead.
because even off that precept is showing you that you can matter of fact, I got a precept real quick just to back it
Go
up.
ahead,
This
huh?
is Matthew 6 and verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon. All right, so you can only it's only you can only choose one choice, man. Or you can't be in betwixt or you trying to choose both. No, you can only serve one master.
Yeah.
It's either you're gonna serve Yahweh Shemi Shah or you're gonna serve your own belly.
Yeah. Either
You
you're
know,
gonna believe in the reward that when the Lord said, he's got something better prepared, either you're gonna believe in that or you just gonna keep your mind stuck on this BS.
hmm
Only what's before you, man, what you can see. Well, where you at in Matthew 6?
Matthew 6 and 24.
Okay, so let's just jump up to verse 21.
I got you. Verse 21 it says,
Start at 19, actually.
yep. Oh yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Yep. It says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal.
Right. So all this stuff is corruptible. All right.
Yeah.
But the scriptures talk about in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, I believe it's the fourth chapter, but it talks about how we are striving for undefiled rewards.
Yeah.
Undefiled rewards. So think about any of the rewards, so to speak, on this side, right? So a woman, well,
hmm
she's defiled,
Yeah.
right? She's defiled not only with the philosophies of this society, or with a way of thinking how a relationship is supposed to be, and this and that and the third, and what she wants and thinks that she needs to be worshipped, and so on and so forth, and served, right? They're defiled with a wrong mentality, but also physically, of course. you know,
Yeah.
how many men have they been with, man? All right, you know, these women ain't virgins, man. So then she's defiled with all these, literally, man. All right, all these other men that done busted in her and everything like that. It's like, come on, bro. You know, it's like I always meant it's like searching through a damn garbage dump and grabbing, looking for some food to eat. Right? You digging through garbage, man. Okay. In the kingdom, there ain't gonna be no digging through garbage. The woman's gonna be pure, undefiled, all right, ready to serve you. You know, they're your other wives, they're gonna be friends and happy. All right. There ain't gonna be no jealousy amongst them and so on and so forth, man. All right. The food that we eat is defiled, it's killing you, it's breaking you down. These niggas be taking all these photos of the steak that they got and this that they got and that they got, and it's all defiled. The steak is tainted. All right. They're cooking it in BS oils. All right. It's on the same grill as the damn, the shrimp, the crab, the lobster, whatever the case may be, all this stuff is defiled, man. All right. But the Lord was like, look, for those that love me, man, it says, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard what
Yeah.
the Lord has prepared for those that wait for him and those that love him. And we have to believe that, man. Anything that you think is valuable or would have thought was valuable, the Lord is going to far surpass that. That's why Peter, he asked the Lord, he was like, Lord, we forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we receive? He is like, man, those that are forsaking houses, wives, brethren, this, that, and the third, so on and so forth, all the way down the list. He said, he shall receive 100-fold and more. All right. 100 times as much, man. You know? So it's like, look, that ain't even nothing. You ain't even got to worry about that, man. The Lord is going to put us on, but we have to have faith. That's why it says, he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is and that he is a rewarder. You have to believe in the reward. We're not only Lord's will, all right, looking to escape the wrath to come, all right, escaping the judgment, but there's a great reward that's ahead, all right, to be excited for as well. And these things should all be a part of the motivating factors in us in our decision making, all right, and how we're operating in this earth, making sure that we're moving in a way that's pleasing Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, right? But we can keep reading on that.
Yep, it says, verse 20, it says, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal.
Right. So even in that, so even in the tangible aspect, people be wanting certain cars. Like they said, like, damn, I wanted this. I remember growing up, I always wanted a Rolls Royce. You know, I was like, ooh, that motherfucker clean. Man, these niggas they be getting these raw ass cars, right? Supposedly, man. You know the amount of money it takes to maintain those cars. All right, the maintenance and everything like that, bro. We finna have chariots. In the book of Isaiah, the 4th chapter, it says how there's gonna be a chariot over every dwelling place, man. You
No,
know,
no maintenance. You ain't got to get
bro, you ain't
gas.
got to get no
You don't
gas.
need no license. You don't need no what is it? Getting tags renewed every
Yeah,
damn other year and shit
taking it
like
to the
that.
shop,
Yeah, like
you know,
bro, like we read in that second address, bro. Rest is allowed. Plenteous is made ready.
plenteousness. Yeah.
A city is built, and the city is gonna be built with pure gold. I'm thinking about it as it says in the book of Tobit. It talks about the streets paved with gold, and it talks about the different precious
Yeah,
stones.
carbuncles,
Yeah,
sapphires,
man,
this
and this
buildings.
that is what that's when we're gonna actually live. Like the way that we're right now, we're just surviving. All right, if you want to actually get into it, like we're actually just surviving, and well, going back to what you read earlier, we're just pilgrims in the earth, man. We're not here to for this place to be prolonged. We're not seeking for this place to prolong. We're hastening the day that the Lord returns, so we could get those new bodies. Lord's will, we're a part of that number, and we get the kingdom, man. We want the kingdom. We want a place where righteousness is spread amongst the whole world, man. It says when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Right now, the wicked are in authority. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, so the whole earth is mourning. All right, the people, the animals, all right, the earth itself. All right, but we're seeking that country where the rest is allowed, man, where everything is gonna be made new. All right, we're waiting for this place to pass away, but
Hmm.
you got to select it.
Yeah, nah, that's all good. That's the spirit. This is I'm gonna back you up with two real quick before we get back to that Matthew. This is Colossians 3:1. If you then be risen with Yahweh Shai Mashiach, seek those things which are above, where Yahweh Shai Mashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High. Right. So seeking those things that are above, all right, the kingdom of heaven, right? What the Lord has prepared for us. He said, I go to prepare a place for thee. Okay.
Hmm.
The Lord said, I'll go to prepare a place for thee.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
it's better than any mansion on this earth that you can imagine, any castle on this place. He's like, I've got a place I prepare for you. This reward, like, think about when Yahweh Shai said that. All right, that was over, what, 2,000 years ago, right? Imagine a place that's being worked on for 2,000 years,
Dang,
prepared for you. You know what
dang,
I'm saying? It's like, all
dang.
right, those are my men, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna go through this, but I'm gonna have that reward ready for them. Yahweh Shah said, behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me. There's a place that's been worked on for 2,000 years. All
A
right.
heavenly place.
That's been what is in that's why I said the kingdom is prepared. All right, it is ready for the watch. In the book of Second Ezra, man. So it's like, bro, it's gonna far surpass anything, bro. It ain't finna be you ain't finna have no damn drywall.
Yeah,
You go to
bro.
the place prepared for you. You know what I'm saying? You trip over something, hit the wall. It's a big hole in the wall. You know what I'm saying? Your children, you know what I'm saying? They playing around in the crib, they breaking.
Yeah.
They don't fell through the drywall or 3 years later. It's some mold in there. Hey, how shot, man? You call it maintenance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, my toilet, you know what I'm saying? Is get somebody to come work on this. Like, hell, it's clogged up. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, bro. It's gonna be perfect, perfect, man. Made specifically for you. The Lord knows us better than we know ourselves, man. The
Yeah.
things that we want and desire, the Lord is going to far surpass what we think we want and desire. There's things out there that we don't even know about that the Lord knows that we going to love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That He has prepared, and we got to keep our mind focused on that, man. You know?
Yeah, and it's soon to come. Like we at the end of this thing. We at the end of this devil's rulership, man. So we see that the time's getting, as we read earlier, man. The time is short.
Yeah.
I was holding that Job earlier. I know we kind of went all over the
Oh,
place,
yeah,
but
yeah. Because that
nah, it's
Job was laying back in that First John?
nah. It was what you read, that the time is short.
Oh, okay, yep, yep.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're
I
going to
was
go back to that too.
okay.
Yeah,
Con
that
con.
First John. Yeah, I mean, we're going to go back to that Corinthians, Lord's will.
Yeah, I know we kind of like bounced around
Yeah,
a little
now I
bit,
saw the
man.
spirit. We gonna, let the spirit do what it do. But I'm gonna keep reading on this Colossians,
You
man.
got
All right, did you have more to say though?
it. Nah. You can just go ahead and do
Okay.
that.
This Colossians 3:2. It says, "Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Yahweh Shai Mashiach and Yahweh." Right. So it's like, bro, we are dead to this world, and that's what we're gonna read in that Galatians, Lord's will. All right. All right. Look, our interest in this world has been crucified, man. Okay. you know so we have to make sure that it's continually being crucified. All right, you lose interest, and over time we was talking about it on the line. It's like you first come in, you might have a certain appetite towards a certain woman,
Mm,
certain woman that you might have had, and then now it's like you're losing interest in even those type of women. All right, there's women you might have dealt with that you wouldn't even, now you might have dealt with a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever the case may be, you wouldn't even consider. you know it's like, damn, I can't believe I did, man. What the It's like your standards are higher, your expectations are higher. Now
bro.
we understand this place is defiled regardless, but it's like your appetite changes, because what? You're you lost interest in
Yeah.
certain things in this world, man. A certain attitude a woman might have, a certain demeanor she might have, or whatever the case it may be, certain things, right? Certain things that you might have looked at as being, valuable, you lose you see that it's not as valuable, you lose interest in it,
Yeah.
right? That's the elevation that wisdom takes us. It says how wisdom exalteth their children in the GNT, and that's Sirach 4, I believe. It says wisdom elevates to greatness, and that's on so many different aspects, man. The appetite of a ruler, all right, the appetite of somebody that's regal, you know, it's different than the appetite of a poor person. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Their interests and desires are different,
Yeah.
even to the music. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like everything, your appetite changes, all right? Because what? You're becoming a more of a regalness, you
Mhm.
know? Like people look at this is how bugged out Jake is. Jake will get in high status, they'll get money, they'll be entertainers, athletes, and they got access to all these women, but yet they will choose to deal with
Bitch in the hood.
a shorty in the hood, right? Or that the 8 other niggas that they know on their team been with. And they will choose to wife that. All right, but they're supposed to be high status. They still have a poor, lowly, all right, mentality, man. All right, a king is supposed to what? Desire a woman that's been untouched, you know. And of course, this society is what it is, but at least desire a woman that ain't nobody else them been with,
All right.
But that shows you that Jake is on a very low level, even when they get the money, even when they got the status, all right, they got a slave mentality. But us, in the mentality that we have, it's like, look, we want virgins in the kingdom, bro. That's what we're gonna get.
We want something fresh, brand
Yeah,
new, straight out the wrapper. Like, nah, like we don't want nothing. Cause just think about it. Like you was mentioned about the example about like going in a dumpster. Well, just use this analogy. Like, let's say you got a damn apple.
you want this,
Somebody else done took a bit off the apple. Somebody else done took a bit off the other side, and you just left with this little ass
right?
piece. And it's
And,
like, bro, I don't want this.
yeah, just nigga, just let me get the fresh
Let me
apple.
get the
That is,
fresh apple
yeah, this
that
banana.
nobody, bro.
I pull this banana out there. It's brown, the banana brown. It's at the last little part. The last little brown
Yeah.
part at the end. You don't even normally you throw that
You
shit out.
throw it away.
It's like, all right, this little, I don't even know what this shit is. I'm gonna just throw that out. But you want the bite, of
Oh,
that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what you want, a new car, or you want you want the new car or the used car? Anybody in their right mind, well, obviously I want the new car, right?
Right.
So hey, man. So but once again, that shows you the mentality that Jake is in, bro. Jake would rather have an apple that had been bit off by 5 different niggas, man. You still see the saliva, all right,
Mm.
off of the bite from the previous motherfucker, and you valuing this apple, all right, you know. So it's like hell nah, man. But it showed you Jake is on a low level, man. You want all. So our appetite and everything should be in the kingdom of heaven, where these things, where moth and rust don't corrupt, thieves don't break. It's not. It's incorruptible, undefiled rewards, right? And so many other aspects, speaking on the woman and everything like that. But it goes far beyond
Yeah.
that. Woman is just going to be like that's not going to be something you boasting about,
Yeah. Yeah.
And that I got this many women. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, everybody got a bunch of
Yeah.
women. Like,
Bro, it's
we
like
all got, all
that's
our
gonna
women
be
is
the
virgins, all
that's
of them fine.
that's gonna be the new norm.
Yeah,
It's gonna be the new
it's
norm.
normalcy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chariots, having servants, a bunch of servants, a bunch of kids.
Yeah,
That's just gonna be the new norm.
that's gonna be we all got it. We all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Infinite man, shoot, my shorty finer than yours. Like, what, Nick, bro? We all our woman is fine, beautiful. We all got servants. We all got this and that and the third. We all well off,
Yeah.
doing great, man. You gonna have land. You gonna have servants. You gonna have projects that you got building. You know what I'm saying? You send the servants out to do, man.
Yeah.
You know, building different. You're gonna have actual ideas that you're gonna be able to put forward throughout the earth. All right. You know what I'm saying? You get an idea to do this and that and the third, like, man, I want this, I want that, I want this vineyard, I want that. And you're gonna have the resources and everything like that to forward that in the earth with your servants, man. All right. And that's beautiful, man. You could be as creative as you want and get it done. Get it done.
Get
On
it
top of getting,
done.
bro, we're gonna be in new bodies, bro. We're gonna have spiritual power. We're not gonna sin. You're gonna be decked out. Like we are gonna be good.
We're gonna be winning.
This
We're
is
gonna be
right,
winning.
bro. We're gonna win.
We're
All
gonna
right,
win.
for eternity, and it's gonna be so much winning. No, don't. I'm so tired of winning. They're gonna be. Please, we're tired of winning. What that nigga Donald Trump said a couple years back, man. So you guys are gonna be so tired. You're gonna be like Donald Trump, please. We're so tired of winning. Right? Them niggas is finna lose, but we finna win for eternity, man. And when you have your mindset on these things, it's like, bro, I'm not worried about this damn, you know,
Yeah.
this garbage dump I'm in, man. All right, I'm seeking towards that. Like, yes, I'm happy to not be thinking about this place, man.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, we're in the garbage dump. All right, sorting through just getting garbage everywhere. You know what I'm saying? The food is garbage. All right, the places we live in is garbage. All right. See, when you see things through the lens of the scriptures and how it's supposed to be, it says, "Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad." See, people in Jake is in captivity, and they're all comfortable and happy with this place, and so on and so forth. And it's like, look, when you know how things are supposed to be, all right, then you're looking at what you got, and it's like, bro, this is not it.
Bro, what the
It's
fuck?
like, what the hell? We got, you put on your nice outfit, like you looking good in the mirror. It's like, bro, this shit is trash.
Your
The
whole
mixed
countenance
comfort.
changed.
You
Your
know,
whole
it's
countenance
like, bro, I
changed,
got this
bro.
little weak ass little gold. It ain't even gold. It just looked gold. I think it's silver. They threw some yellow gold over it. It's like, bro, we got BS, man. You know what I'm saying? But we get our real reward in the kingdom. And that's why it says this Colossians 3 and 2 set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Yahweh Shai Mashiach in Yahweh.
Yeah.
When Yahweh Shai Mashiach, Salakia, when Yahweh Shai Mashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. Right? So when Yahweh Shai gets here, that's when we really get to live.
We're
So
gonna
we
live.
just passing through, man.
Yeah.
Your family and this and that and the third, the things of this world, bro, it's all overrated, man. We really have to have that mentality, man. And keeping in mind, like, look, it says, as a grain of sand to the seashore, all right, and as a drop of water to the sea, so are 1,000 years to the days of eternity in the book of Sirach. All right, so that's God thinking, that's God timing. So 1,000 years is like one grain of sand on a seashore, right? One grain of sand is 1,000 years. So when you think about that, and you think about this little ass time we got left in this society, it's like, bro, why am I tripping over anything here? This ain't even my life. Like, this ain't my life. This ain't my body.
This
All
is
right.
fake. All
This
this
is
is fake.
temporary.
This is like the Matrix.
This is
This
the
is fake.
matrix. We're
All
gonna
this is fake that we're seeing. Bro, I got a precept real quick.
go ahead.
This is Second Corinthians 4 and 18. while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen, for the things which are seen are temporal, but the
Mhm.
things which are not seen are eternal. So everything that we see in this place in the world that we live in right now is all temporary. All right, it's not finna last much longer, even in the times that we're living
Yeah.
right now. The time is short, as the brother read earlier, you know.
Hmm.
So everything that we're dealing with right now is whatever the hell that you got to deal with, bro. It's all temporal. It's all a light affliction, and you just have to see it. You have to have the faith that it is, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to see it as a temporal thing. You have to see it as a light affliction. All right, and understand that what's to come is going to be much more glorious. It's going to be eternal. All right, it's going to be much more powerful. You know,
Yeah.
that's it, man.
Yeah. Faith is the substance of things hoped
Hope
for,
for
the evidence of things not seen. And we got to move in that
faith.
vibration.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm good on that. I'm good on the
Yeah,
crumbs.
bro, I'm good on
I'm
this.
good on
I'm
the
good on this
crumbs.
world. Like I'm good on everything that this world has to
Yeah.
offer. Like it's all BS is tainted, and we see it, and that's we see it as it is. Like we see it
Yeah.
as what it is.
Yep,
You
yep.
know?
That's right. That's right. I'm gonna read this back in 1 Corinthians 7, and we reading the NLT verse 31. I know we still got that Matthew on deck and that second Ezra. So Lord's we'll circle back to all these. But First Corinthians 7 in verse 30 again in the NLT, those who weep or who rejoice or who buy things should not be absorbed by their weeping or their joy of their possessions. Going back to that First John, I don't believe we finished that. First John chapter 2 and verse 16 in the NLT. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and of the pride of life is not of the Father. Oh, this is the KJV still, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever, right? So reading this in the NLT, it says, First John 2 and 15, it says, do not love this world nor the things it offers you. For when you love the world, you do not have the love of the Father in you. For the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions. And that's what you see people boasting on social media, man. Look at what I'm eating. Look at what I got. Look at what I'm driving in. I got something crazy I'm driving in. I'm pulling up in this and this and that and the third, right? Craving for all these things, that's all tainted. Niggas is putting up stacks of money that's monopoly money. All right, and acting cool. You look child. You look like a child, like like a child flexing. You know what I'm saying? It was some monopoly money, man. I got this much money. Or like I remember growing up. We we used to take the aluminum foil. All right, we
Oh
used to
yeah,
put it in
yeah.
our
Put it
teeth
in the
like we got
teeth.
some grills. You know, like ooh, look, we cool. We got grills. You know what I'm saying? Or you got the aluminum foil. You put them on the bike. All right, to make it look like you got some rims.
Oh yeah.
We used to do all that. It's like childish. Like all right, that's cute. But it's like that shit ain't real. But then niggas get a little bit more money. All right, but it's still childish. It's like, bro, you ain't really got nothing, man. Look at my stacks of money. It's like, bro, that shit monopoly money. It ain't real, man. Boasting about the things that these possessions is trash, man. Look at what I'm eating. All that tainted food, you know, that tainted ass food you eating, man. All right. It's like, come on now. It says, these are not from the Father, but are from this world. And this world is fading away. And that's what we talking about. All this stuff is fading away, anyways. Even the crumbs, all right, that are left from the rich man's table is even fading away. You eating a piece of the crumb of the crumb of the crumb. All right. You get a little crumb and then all right, you divide, you chopping it up.
Chopping it up.
You
Yeah.
chopping it up and you taking your fingernail, two of your fingernails together and trying to pick up that little crumb and, eat it. It's like, bro, this is trash. Forget the crumbs, man. Y'all can have that, man. Had them crumbs, man. All right, we gonna wait for what the Lord gonna give us. He ain't giving us crumbs, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Bro,
He
that's a
said we shall
spirit, bro.
inherit all things. Go ahead.
Nah, I'm just looking at the first part. It says for the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure. Like that's what literally what this world has to offer, just physical pleasure, man. There's nothing that's beneficial that you're gonna get out of this world. Like like we think we're talking about what we're gonna get for eternity, like for forever. Like
Hmm.
this world has an end. Like there's a time where this all these things are gonna end and pass away. So there's nothing that's gonna benefit, of this world, man.
That's right. It says, and this world is fading away along with everything that people crave.
Man,
But anyone who does what pleases the Most High will live forever. This is what we looking for. We gonna live forever, and it's gonna be a blast. All right. When we wake up from this nightmare, it says they shall be as them that dream. It's like when we wake up, it's like, whew, finally, man. Shoot, back where we were supposed to be. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You take a deep breath, man, finally, I got my body. We not even in our bodies yet. Like, that's the beginning. You know, that it's like I always like applying in the spirit how Ezra was given that clock in the book of Second Ezra, the 14th chapter. Man, it says how what the earth is divided into 12 parts.
mm,
That's 12,000 year periods. All right, you know, and we at the end. At the end of that 12,000. That 12,000 years, and what happens when you're 12? You become a man, right? So when you become a man, that's when you really, you get to live.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You're going through training, like it talks about in the book of Galatians and so on and so forth. So we've been going through training on how to rule and how to govern, and we're being in this flesh and so on and so forth. We learn obedience through what we suffered, and we're seeing the benefits of righteousness, and we're seeing what wickedness does and why we're going to reign in righteousness under these laws. All right, why it's beneficial to live this way and operate this way, and this needs to be pushed throughout the earth because we're seeing what Esau's done, learning wickedness, right? So we're going through all this, and then, but we become a men. We're gonna get our new bodies, and that's when we really get to live. That's when we become men. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna be in those bodies for the rest of eternity. So we haven't even gotten to that point yet. When we get that, bro, it's gonna be up from there. Immortality, it starts on this side. This wisdom leads to immortality. All right. That's why it's like, we look crazy to this world because as the scripture says, Yahweh Shai said it, man. He said, ye are from beneath and I am from above. Our citizenship is in the heavens. That's why it says, rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. All right. Those whose citizenship is in the heaven, those whose affections are on things above, not in the things here. All right. Not in the things here on earth. Right. Going back to that second Ezra, real quick, second Ezra 14 in verse 14, let go from the mortal thoughts, cast away the burdens of men. Right. We're looking for immortality. So we can't think as mortals. Okay. We can't think as mortals, man. That's why when you go into the book of Matthew, just to hit this point real quick, when you go into the book of Matthew, all right, we still got that Matthew. I'm
mm.
gonna have to break this up into two lessons. We already at 46. We ain't hit the first precept. Yeah, written down. We ain't hit none of them. All right, but this is it's all good through the spirit. This is Matthew. All right. What was I finna hit? Matthew 13. All right. And just to show you, man, there's a separation and it starts with this wisdom and knowledge, this faith that we've been given, man. Matthew chapter 13 and verse 13 and where is it at?
What you looking for?
Unto you it is given to know the mysteries. I should have just typed in mysteries. All right. All right. I could have just quoted it really. All right. Matthew 13 and 11. All right. Because I want to go into this word mysteries. It says, he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. But to them it is not given, right? And we have these mysteries. That's why our mind is set on these things, man. We're not thinking about here and now. We're thinking about, bro, nobody's thinking the way that we're
Bro,
thinking, man. Okay. This is the spirit,
yeah, yeah,
It's like, bro, nobody's thinking the way that we thinking, bro. They're thinking about the here and now and just what they see before them and so on and so forth. It's like, look, we're looking beyond
yeah,
Babylon. It's like, look, we're looking beyond that, man. All right.
yeah. Or even you got guys that's talking about, oh, I got this land, I got this
I'm trying to do
business.
this. We got
Yeah,
GED
it's like,
program. If a nigga,
bro,
bro, talking about we do the GED programs, the GED programs. Like, bro, shut your ass up, man. We finna get some land.
it's
Like,
like,
nigga,
bro,
you're not thinking about prophecy because this land is finna
yeah,
be destroyed.
bro,
Then you take time to set up all that. Like those things take years to actually get running. You want a real community and this and that and the third. Like, bro, you think you think we're gonna be sitting here like Jacob Shubler's right here,
what
you know?
that's what they think though, because they say that we got 30 years, 1,000 years, so on and so forth,
Niggas is
et
crazy.
cetera, and it's like, bro, like you're still thinking about this place prospering? You're crazy. All
Yep.
right, well, you're literally insane. People think we're insane. No, you're insane.
Yeah,
It's like, bro,
y'all, them niggas is crazy. All right, them
literally.
niggas is crazy, man. But this is the word mystery. It says It says hidden things, secret, mystery, generally mysteries, religious secrets confided only to the initiated and not to ordinary mortals, right? It says confided only to the initiated,
Mm,
all right, and not to ordinary mortals. So look, we're through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Lord's will, we are those men. We're not ordinary, man. All right. You know, our mind is on a different wavelength of vibration of thinking. Okay. We think about the kingdom. We think about what the scriptures talk about us having a nation coming out of our loins, man. All right. It says a little one shall become 1,000. All right. A little one, a strong nation, getting new bodies, having spiritual power. These things are written in the Bible. The same Bible that all these people is carrying that they say they believe in. All right. We actually believe in these words. We believe in what's written. We can see, all right, these different things, these prophecies, and so on and so forth, man. And we believe we're going to live it. All right. We know that the kingdom of heaven is here on earth, a rulership, a dominion of Yahweh Shai. All right. King David, the rest of the 12, the 144,000, the rest of the nation of Israel, above all these other heathen, having them in slavery and captivity, the whole earth given unto us, right? Having control over all the resources, all the trade routes, everything is going to run through us, man. All right. The forces of the Gentiles coming unto us, man. These things are written, man. Okay. We believe in that, man. We're not thinking about how these people think. All right. And that puts us on another level, man. That shows we not ordinary mortals. And we have to make sure that we, even though we're here physically, all right, we have to make sure our mind is in the kingdom of heaven. We're just passing through. It's like, all right, yeah, we in the matrix, man. Let me go to work and clock in, fake this fake ass conversation. Ha ha. What are your plans in 5 years? Oh yeah, well, I plan on doing this and that and the third. You know? And if people asking you stuff, you got to act dumb. You literally got to dumb yourself down, all right, to have conversations with these people and so on and so forth, man. You know, we have to keep our mind on what's to come. We're not of this world, all right? And we have to make sure that we're moving in that vibration, not getting caught and pulled, all right, into the affairs of this world and the cares of this life and so on and so forth, like the brother was reading in that Second Timothy, right?
And the way that we keep ourselves, in that mentality is by staying in the spirit.
Yep.
If we're staying in the spirit and we're reading, we're praying, we're fasting. That allows us to stay in the spirit of knowing what's to come. Instead of you're not doing these particular things, then you're gonna that world is gonna pull onto you. All right, and you're gonna get caught up in the ways of this world.
Yep,
What
yep.
you got, bro?
Back in Second Ezra 14 and verse 15, and set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste thee to flee from these times. Right. So we're hastening the day. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. All right. So that's all on that Second Ezra. So I know we're still in that First Corinthians. I'm gonna finish this in the NLT. First Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 31 in the NLT, those who use the things of this world should not become attached to them. For this world, as we know it, will soon pass away. So we can't be attached to these different things, man. Our affection can't be caught up in these different things, man. Right? So going back to this in the book of First John, we finished that. All right, we got Second Timothy. Did you finish that? Second Timothy
Uh,
2.
was that the war?
Entangleth.
Yeah, I believe I finished that one.
Okay, con. All right, so then we'll go back to that Matthew. I know you was reading.
Okay, yeah, with Matthew 6.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so back in Matthew chapter 6, give me a second. Um,
6 and verse 20.
20,
You can read 20
20.
again.
Okay, yeah. Matthew 6 and verse 20, it says, "But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." It says, "For the light of the body."
So where your treasure is, there will your heart be also, man. All right. So what you value, that's what your mind is going to be on. And that's why you see these people, what? Valuing the things of this world. That's why they're talking about getting land here. That's why they're talking about doing communities here. That's why everything that they're talking about has to do with here, and nothing that they're talking about has to do with the kingdom of heaven or the things above,
Yeah,
right? Because they value the things here. They have not lost their interest in Egypt.
yeah.
All right.
They're looking back.
That's right. They're like Lot's wife, which is, yeah, looking back.
Yeah,
And they're going to be destroyed like Lot's wife
yeah,
because they're still regarding this place with care,
yeah.
right? So we have to make sure that we're on guard of not falling into that category. All right. Go ahead.
It says, I was thinking about as you were saying, like looking back, that means like you're turning this way, but the scriptures tell us to. It says that this is the way. that leadeth unto salvation. Kind of rough. I think I'm putting two precepts together, but we're seeking, we're looking the way towards salvation, man. You know, the way of that righteous path, man. But it says, verse 22, it says, the light of the body is the eye. And it says, if therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness?
Mhm.
Verse 24 says, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye
Mhm.
cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon.
So that's what, the brother was mentioning, man. You're going to hold to the one and despise the other.
Yeah.
So we should be holding on to the kingdom of heaven, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and despising this world and what it has to offer in these different things, man. Okay? Holding on to the one and despising the other, right? So we should be growing into that, man, more and more and more of these things, the cares and the affections toward these different things should be being killed more and more. And that's why we suffer certain disappointments in our walk. All right. You suffer certain things, man. You might have an expectation, man, when this and that and the third, man, might have a short you was into, like, yeah, man, nah, man, she saw that this and that and the third, and then she ended up being a demon. All right. Then it's like, man, you disappointed, but what? You lost interest. Now it's like you going this is like, man, I don't even care. I'm just waiting for the kingdom, man. Fuck that. I thought I had this. It's like the Lord is like, nigga, just let that shit go, nigga. What I got is better. Don't be trying to hold on to this. He disappointed you. All right. You know, you was
Yeah.
hoping that this was gonna play out this way and that. It's like, and the Lord allow you to be disappointed and you lose interest in sight of like, yeah, man, forget all that anyways, man.
Yeah.
You know? Not to say that the Lord don't bless and so on and so forth, right? But certain things the Lord have it set so that what it kills your interest in these different things, man. All right. Now you don't care. It's like, man, these women, these women is trash.
Yeah.
You know, this whole situation is trash, man. That job is trash. All this is trash. All right. BS. And the Lord wants it to making that very clear that all this is trash. Just wait on the kingdom. All right. Just seek this kingdom, that was it in that Matthew, right?
Yep. That was
So
it.
man, it was a lot of other ones, but I'm gonna at least hit this and then we'll end it off, and then I might just come back with another land back into the rest of these precepts. But this is the book of Galatians, chapter 6 and 14. It says in the NLT, as for me, may I never boast about anything except the cross of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Because of that cross, my interest in this world has been crucified, and the world's interest in me has also died. All right. So our interest in this world has to be crucified. Okay. It has to die. And once again, it should be way more easier now seeing these things coming to pass than what it might have been 10, 15, 20 years ago, whatever the case it may be. When we're this close to the end, we're seeing all these things being fulfilled right before our eyes, man. There's nothing to go back to. All right, niggas is finna go, but niggas is going back into the world, and here it is. The Lord has a set date where he's gonna collapse society. Here it is, and niggas like, man, he finna throw in the towel. All right, and then 2 weeks later, bam, society's over. All right. Everything collapsed. Everything that you thought you was going to do or that you had interest in or that you was trying to hold on to in an instant is over with.
Yeah. Suddenly.
Yep. On the
First
sudden
Thessalonians.
Yep. And this
First Thessalonians 5.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna grab this real quick in Isaiah the 19th chapter. Actually, I need this in the GNT. All right, because it says how the Lord is gonna disappoint, all right, uh the plans of the Egyptians. So we got to make sure that we not all right in the spirit of these Egyptians, because all their plans is going to be disappointed. See, if your mind isn't towards these prophecies, that's what's faithful and true.
Yeah.
That's what's going to come to pass. All right. There's many devices in a man's heart. But the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. So you could be like, I'm finna do this and I'm finna do that. And I got this going on, that going on. Yeah, we finna build communities and we finna GED programs and X, Y, and Z. All right, but the Lord is going to disappoint all that, right? Isaiah 19 and 3 in the GNT. I'm going to frustrate the plans of the Egyptians and destroy their morale. All right. It says destroy their morale, right? And when we go into this word morale, let me just pull this up right here. Morale definition. All right, so the word morale, it says the confidence, enthusiasm, and discipline of a person or group at a particular time. All right, so people got excited for these plans that they're going to do. The Lord is going to destroy all that. All right, they're all enthusiastic about, yeah, we're going to go do this. And then the Lord's shutting it down.
Mm-hmm.
I got these plans, man. You know, man, I'm going to go fly to go do this and that and the third. Disappointed. You know, yeah, man, I'm going to college, man. I'm going to go be a doctor and this and that and the third. Society collapse. Disappointed. You know, yeah, man, this is going on, man. I'm finna go marry, man. We finna finally get married, man. I'm finna settle down with Shorty, man, and this and that and the third, man. Disappointed.
Cannot wait, bro.
Society
Can't
collapse.
wait, bro.
Disappointed. She left you. All right, in an instant. All right, like nothing. She got scared, left, bugged out. All right, disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Everything that people got confidence in that has nothing to do with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, it will be a disappointment. Okay, and this is the Lord that's doing it. He's like, oh, you got some plans? I'm happy you do because I'm gonna disappoint him. you know. It says back in that Isaiah 19:3, I'm going to frustrate the plans of the Egyptians and destroy their morale. They will ask their idols to help them, and they will go and consult mediums and ask their spirits of the dead for advice. All right. But I just wanted to grab that point, man. So all that's being disappointed, man. All right. He will frustrate the devices, all right, of the wicked, of the crafty, and so on and so forth, man. Okay. And this is where we at with it, man. So don't get caught up in trying to be doing all this and that and the third here. Like this place is over with, man. All right, it is a wrap, over, finito. All right, done. You know. So that's really it, man. Like I said, had a lot more to go into. Didn't really hit it, but it's all through the spirit. Our Lord's will. I'll land back with going into more of these different points leading up. So you got anything else, man?
That's it, man. That was the point.
So having that being said, Lord's what I was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwarash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Pushing out this word in all sincerity and the truth. With that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.